Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm gamesplaining It's a Wonderful World. So It's a Wonderful World came out at Essen 2019, that's last year. I have only just managed to get my hands on a copy, even though I've played it a few times. I've managed to play a friend's copy and then I thought, you know what, I think I need to get this. And I was right. I played this with my daughter the other day and she absolutely loved it. There's just something about this one that just worked really well. This is a 1 to 5 player game. If you have played Seven Wonders before, you'll have an idea of how this game plays, simply because they use a very similar mechanism of look at your hand, take some cards out, pass it along. In this case, we're taking 2 cards out rather than 1, but pass along, pass along. This game then takes it a step further because the cards that you're taking out, you're now choosing whether you're going to build those cards or work towards building those cards or use those cards for an income of a cube. Now, the income of the cube is actually really important because once a card has been put in the build area, it has a certain combination of colors of cubes that need to be put onto that card. Once they're all on there, that card is then built, and whatever's on the bottom of the card is then able to work as income. Now that sounds really cool. The problem with this game is that it runs for 4 rounds only. So you end up with a whole bunch of stuff in your build area that you can't possibly build simply because the game isn't long enough for you to be able to build them. I kind of like that. It's really a really tense kind of moment, but I kind of like that you can't do everything. And I fear that this is where I've fallen down with this game, is that I just can't do everything that I want to do. I have not won this game once. I understand the game, I understand what I'm trying to do, but I haven't managed to win it once. At least people I'm playing with, they look like they're just doing the stuff and working out really well, and things are happening for them and they're getting 50 points. And I'm ending up with like less than 30. It's one of these games that just hasn't quite landed for me personally yet. I don't know why. I understand exactly what I'm trying to do. The whole thing with this and what you are actually trying to do is some of the cards that you're building into your area are going to give you cubes, and you can use those cubes to build other cards into your area. That's great. I'm great on that. But also, some of them give you points, and they're multipliers of points. So if you can have something that gives you points for the number of this type of card, then you want a whole bunch of that type of card. You also want other cards that are going to give you a multiplier for that type of card, so that you can roll over and end up with 2, 3, 4 times however many cards you've got of that particular type of card, or something to that effect. Those multipliers are actually really, really important, and that's actually, I think, how you're going to win the game, is going for those multipliers. I fear that once I realise that, I haven't had a hand that's actually helped me get that, or I've started going for that and gone and just not quite landed. I'm not 100% sure on exactly what it is, but that's this game. I really like this game. I think it's a really wonderful game. I think it's an easy enough game to understand, but man, is it intense when you're looking at the cards going, oh, if I do this, I can do this, I can do this. The other thing with it is that the cubes, the resources that you get paid out, they don't get all paid out together. They get paid out in a certain order. So however many grey cubes you've got in your buildings, and you'll have some to start with, you'll get that many grey cubes. You can then put those grey cubes onto your other buildings that you're trying to build up, and if that finishes any of them, you can take that card and now put that into the area that's going to get paid out. And so anything that is, I think it's black cubes are next, anything that's black cubes in there, including the cards you just put in, are going to get paid out. And so you can actually build up and turn things over to get them out of this area into this area within that one turn. And I think that's really the clincher on the game, is how quickly can you turn this stuff around. How much stuff do you have up here that if you do one of them will enable you to get another, will enable you to get another, and just getting that flow on happening over into that space. It's a Wonderful World is a really good game. It's a really tense, it's easy enough to understand, but you find that you're crunching on it a heck of a lot as you're playing. The box says it's a 45-minute game. Once again, as I've said many times, that 45 minutes is variable. The majority of the play happens at the same time, so there's not a lot of, oh, if I have 5 players, it's obviously going to take longer than 2 players. because all the play is happening at the same time. But the amount of thinking that's going into each hand of cards, oh, if I take this card and this, that thinkiness is what can slow this game down. So just be very aware of that. And it's the same as with any game. If you've got people who are really thinking and taking their time, it's obviously going to take a lot longer to play the game. So please go ahead and watch my gameplay and Gamesplanation to get a feel for the game and if you would like it or not. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be Gamesplained, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.